Nick Chubb is not going to be there. He was ruled out earlier today by Kevin Stefanski, as was Demetric Felton. So with no Nick Chubb, who are some of the key matchups on the offensive side of the ball that the Browns need to exploit, find a way to take advantage of to get much-needed win?
So this is going to be a really interesting game for Stefanski's offensive scheme, because he doesn't get to do what he really wants to do, which is pound the ball with his two-headed monster at running back. And now you don't have the full wide receiver room that you were planning on having this season. So it's going to be interesting to see what he decides to do. I think using the tight ends more in the slot, and even lining guys up like Njoku outside is going to be a good idea, because you can take advantage of some of those matchups against the linebackers more, because with how the receiver room is looking right now, you're going to have to start using those tight ends as receivers, because you really don't have another choice, especially with your top running back out.
Yeah, and to your point, Harrison and Njoku move pretty well for tight ends as well. I mean, those are guys that you can create matchup problems against, in that situation. What do you see as a key matchup? Even I'll give it to you, offense, defense. When you look at this game, what do the Browns need? What matchup do you think the Browns need to win in order to get a win?
I think we need to see the good Baker Mayfield again, first and foremost. As he goes, this team goes. And that's just how it is in the NFL. That's how the quarterback position is. But I really think that those tight ends need to be able to win their matchups against those linebackers. And that's an opportunity for Stefanski to exploit some matchups. And because like we were talking about with Njoku and Harrison Bryant, Njoku especially, he's too big for linebackers and he's too fast and athletic for defensive backs to cover. So really honing in on him and giving him the attention and the targets that he deserves, I think is going to be important to win.
When the other thing is keep in mind, still don't know if the Patriots will have Damian Harris. He's in the concussion protocol, as is Ramondre Stevenson. So the top two ball carriers for the Patriots could very well miss the game as well. Having said all that, how do you see this one playing out? What do you think happens? 5-4, and with the loss of the Ravens to the Dolphins yesterday, AFC's wide open.
Yep. And I think the Browns definitely need to take advantage of that, and I think they realize that for sure. I think in order to win, you need to force Mac Jones to throw the ball downfield, because that is not his strong suit. If you give him time to sit in the pocket, he'll pick you apart underneath all day. But if you can force him to sit in there and have to move the ball downfield, so getting out to an early lead would definitely help with that. Then you can take advantage of your pass rush and your secondary playing at a high level, and I think if they can do those things, they'll end up with a win.
I agree with you. I think Baker Mayfield needs to take care of the ball, something he did very well. Browns were +3 giveaway takeaway. That's Kevin Stefanski talks about all the time. There's a reason football coaches harp on that. That's extra possessions for your offense, and I think Mac Jones is a guy that you can force to turn the ball over. I know he's played well, but I think to your point, if you force him to throw the ball downfield a little bit and get some pressure on him, I think he can turn the ball over a couple times against him. What are your thoughts about the importance of the turnover battle?
Well, I mean, it's extremely difficult to win when you're losing the turnover battle. I mean, that's like the first game that you have to win in order to win the game, right? So there have been games where the Browns have not been very good at that, and that's just how it is. Turnovers are a pretty fluky thing oftentimes, but when you have a gunslinger like Mayfield who isn't afraid to turn the ball over if he thinks he can make a play, and he thinks he can make just about every throw in the book, it's all about choosing your battles and choosing when to be aggressive. And I think he definitely did a great job of that last week. He made all those tight window throws down the field, and as long as he continues to do that, I think they'll be perfectly fine.
All right, I got to ask you, gut feeling, do you think they get the win that they need in Foxborough, or do you think the Patriots are able to beat them?
I think they'll be 6-4.
All right.
I think so.
Fair enough.